Welcome to the
Top of the
B6.
morning, man. Welcome to the B6. That shit was hilarious. Oh my god, I ain't never
Back on the
been
bus.
so unprepared in my life. Man.
Prepared but unprepared.
Yeah, all right, we got a special show. I'm waiting for you actually this morning. I got to think a little bit more into the question of the topic, the main topic today. Does saying no make you a bad person? So let me ask you first. What did you think of that idea when you first read it? When you first saw that text come across your screen, what
Like
did you
I
say?
don't I said I don't know what I was trying to really understand what you was trying to say, but then the first thing came to mind is just I know I have not a problem, but with my family, I never say no to my family. Anytime they ask me something, it doesn't matter what it is or what I'm doing, I'm gonna do it. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. And I know with my wife, she's always asking me. My problem with her, she would ask me something in the middle of I'm doing something. I'm like, God, like you just can't wait till I'm finished. But again, I just do it. Just do it, knock it out, whatever. It don't bother me to do stuff for people. Like I think it would
You're a
benefit you.
good guy. You're a good Lex. I think everybody that's listening to this, listen, it feel heartwarming, a little bit of like, they touched a little bit. Or they're like, fuck no, that's not me. I'm not doing this. That's the that's the sense I get when I just listen to you. I'm like, damn man, this is a nice guy. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have came up with this topic. Maybe I should just, stop being a bitch and just do it.
I don't
It seems like a nice way to look at things. But
know.
like I said, when I was listening, I was waiting for you to get ready. Uh, just to let everybody know what was I laughing at when this first came on. I was waiting for this man for about 20 minutes. I was about to doze off, waiting for because we up early. And then he's jumped right in. You ready? And for some reason, I wasn't ready. I just had a bunch of stuff I had to get ready. But anyway, topic: does saying no make you a bad person? Like I said, when I was sitting here waiting for this man, was thinking about how from now at my age, our age, it's been a problem for everybody, me and you, I think, coming up. Because as a kid and all the way back as far as I can remember in elementary school, no meant different things to people or to kids. You know, let's say you got a toy and you're in school and you say no, the kid is not gonna understand. No, they looking at you being mean, you're not sharing. We was taught to share. You understand what I'm saying? When I came up with this topic, I was just thinking about me and you and what we have to go through as men, whether we talking with our family, close friends, not friends, co-workers. That no means different things to certain people. And sometimes when you hear the no, you automatically think one thing: this person doesn't want to help me. This person doesn't want to is not understanding my situation, um without really thinking deep into it. The only way they will understand the no or somewhat understand it if you sit there and give them an explanation behind the no. And an explanation doesn't always necessarily need, explanation. I mean, I might be having a shitty day. And you ask me, hey, can you take me down the street? You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, and I don't want to explain after that because I had a shitty day. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever had a situation where somebody asked you something? And I'm not talking about family because you already made me feel bad about that because I know I said no a few times, family members, and without explanation. You said you just do it. But I'm talking about a
Yeah,
non-family member now. Hey,
actually, my
Lax, when I
family.
go ahead.
Yeah, my family have. I think it's not just me. I think it's just my entire family. Like we have a hard time saying no. Like people take advantage of us because we always just do it. Like not just me. Like that's how I was brought up. We. It's
Okay,
hard for
so
us to say no.
okay.
It's weird though. Before you go on, it's like the opposite side. I always say no to when someone is offering me something. first thing comes to my mind is no. Like, hey, you want this? No, nah, I'm good. You want this?
Why is
Nah, I'm
that?
good. I don't know, maybe just how I was brought up. We don't really take stuff or like to be, given stuff. I just automatically say no. Somebody offer me something, I say, nah, I'm good. Like, nah,
That's
nah.
your nature. That's your built.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everybody in your family is gonna say yes if I ask them something. But
yeah,
but if I offer you something, yeah, I'm good.
yeah. It's just,
Everybody's kind of the same. It makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think I can see that a little bit. I do remember coming up like I don't see. I mean, I was never bold enough to say to your father, "Hey, can I move in?" And see how he take it.
See, we always have people moved in with us, like people
Yeah,
who
and
come
I
from
think now I
Jamaica
think
and
about
stuff.
it, you did have
Yeah,
people in there. I did not know who they were, and
yeah.
they
We don't
just
know how to
moved
say
around.
no. Yeah,
They
in-laws and
moved
stuff.
around real silent. Everybody did their own thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I
Up
can
to
see
my
that.
father, yeah. Even start with my father, people would ask him and my mother or whatever, and they always let people stay with us, and they never said no, even if we didn't like it.
All right, I guess this show is going to be for everybody else that's not related to lax because we already know what's going to be the answer. But to the other people, talking about the people that um, adults and they have to just go through life, and then life is hard enough as it is. I mean, we live in a time poverty is probably building up. Crime is up because people don't have it. They're doing like, just getting by things just to get by. And when somebody that is struggling just like the next asks them for something, they say no. Are you accepting the no in the right sense? Because I don't think everybody just want to be mean and say no. I mean, you need to understand the other person's situation without having to get an explanation. I've been in plenty of situations where I had to say no for multiple things. Let's say you asked me for $20, like, and I give it to you. A lot of the times when people say, "Hey, I'm gonna give it back to you next week," it actually happens next week. Sometimes it pushes along to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes even never. So you need to ask yourself when you're asking other people, why did this person say no to me? Maybe you need to look inside yourself and say, maybe what am I doing that I'm always getting no's from people? I mean, if I owe $50,000 in credit card debt, I gotta just getting by a job. I'm always complaining my bills is late. And I say, hey, relax, let me hold $200 for my next paycheck. Now, as a friend, you might just say, yeah, right away, I want to help this guy out. But the second or third time that no becomes comes from deep down inside, like, all right, I know this guy. He's not gonna give it back. Or you could just say, you know what? Fuck it, I give it to him because it's not gonna if he gets it back, great. If he gives it back, great. If he don't, it didn't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we help other people, we can't afford to help them. And that no should have been really no instead of, I'm going to do it because I respect this guy. Do you know of people like me and other people that have to go through these and like watch like a movie like, oh man, I can see this is not going to go well. Like, I know this guy is notorious for not paying. Now I'm trying to go through this whole show without bringing in my personal life or
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you,
no,
like,
no, no. I'm not.
not,
I will
the
give you
question I was gonna
examples.
ask was
Yeah.
like, have you ever asked someone some for something and they told you no?
Um. So before I start talking about me, I was trying to get through all of that, but I'll talk about me.
I'm just
I answer
yeah.
your question with that. I don't ask people for things. That's one of my problems.
I mean, that's like the safe stuff that I was just saying
No,
with
no,
me. Like,
no. But I don't like it for a different reason. I don't like rejection. So if
nobody
I
likes
need,
rejection, bro.
well, nobody does like rejection, but I
Yeah,
can't handle it.
yeah,
So I'd rather just. And then my father always told me, even as a kid, saying, if you don't ask, it's already a no. you
Yeah.
know. So you might as well just get it out the way. You might get a yes, and then you might, you know.
So you
So
don't
I
act.
take his advice at times, but I rarely do. I try to make sure that I can do what I want to do or get what I want to get, you know, without having to ask for that. You know, I mean, something nobody can go through life without some help. So unless you want to wait for somebody to say, "Do you need help?" You know, it might take a little longer. So you're gonna have to ask a question where you're gonna get a yes or no. But I try to make it simple, you know, where I don't have to ask.
I mean, I've seen people who need something and ask for something, and I'm like you said, they're probably not gonna give it back. Like they
Yeah,
asking, but
I mean, and
they
then you know where we came from. Where we from? I mean, most, if not 99, I guess that's most, but 90% where we were didn't really have it. And if you had it, you had to, you know, hold
you
it
know
tight
you know
and
what
not make it seem like you have it.
you know what I'm thinking about growing up. I don't know if it happened to you, but back in the day,
Oh, let me
um,
get 50 Cent.
no, not that, but like people asking to ride your bike.
Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, let me get a
They,
ride down the street.
they ain't coming back, bro.
I ain't never got. I don't know if you ever got caught with that one. I never did. I did get my bike stolen, but it wasn't from somebody else. I just
You had to say
being
no,
careless,
and
being careless, and they just caught me. I got caught slipping.
somebody
But
asked
yeah,
you for
what
a ride.
so you
I'm,
got
I'm
caught?
probably sure I got caught. I don't know. I don't know if I ever lost it. I'm pretty sure it happened to me. Like some people, you just man, damn, can I say no to him? You know what I mean? It's like it might be like that neighborhood bully or like somebody who you know was into.
Yeah, because you know a lot of them came from another street that you didn't
You
know.
don't even know them, and
Yeah,
they
you
asking
know.
you
Let me
for a
get
ride, bro. I don't know you.
exactly.
Are you
Yeah,
asking?
yeah,
I
yeah,
know you ain't coming back.
yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta say no in that case.
yeah. Unless you're known, I've seen people ask and they came back. I guess they was just you just had street cred or something. I don't know.
Did you
All
ever
right,
watch
man.
that episode of Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think I
when the
remember.
kid asked him for a
Yeah,
ride and he never came back, and then when he
yeah.
finally came back, what he said to him, you
Who's like?
remember?
What did he
I
say?
think I think he said, "Bro, something about he had a good reason why he didn't do it because it was like if he would have brought it back at that time or something, he would have got Chris in trouble." So he said he waited until I guess probably something to do with his parents. So he had like a good reason why he didn't bring it back. But Chris, everybody hates
Yeah, he
Chris.
was gone for a minute, right? He was
Yeah,
gone for
yeah,
like a
yeah,
couple days or some shit.
yeah, yeah.
I think
But
he
he
was
ended
gone
up bringing
all
it
day.
back.
I think it
Yeah,
was like literally all day or the next day. Yeah,
yeah.
I think I remember
He
that
had him tight
episode.
the whole day. But it just memories because
Yeah,
riding bikes
yeah,
was like the thing back then. We used to ride
yeah.
bikes and fix our
Let
own
me ride your
bikes.
bike.
But you had to say no, or
Yeah,
else you're gonna lose your bike.
yeah. But back to it, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, you can't ride my bike. No, you can't spend the night. And another reason I was thinking about this, a lot of times at my job, people want to vent. You know, this is a bad time. So no matter what it is, people ask for a favor, ask for an advance. I don't know. And then they'll just come to me and vent. You know, I try my best not to vent when I'm going through something. You know, I'm not gonna go over there and put my problems on you because what that's gonna do is just bring you down. Maybe you was on your way up, things are going well for you. We're in a bad time. Anybody that's doing well in this economy, kudos to them. You gotta keep that positivity on your side and stay away from the negative. And it's hard because right now it's an off balance. You're gonna have more negative people than positive. So if I'm coming to you and you know, with the negativity, it's hard to stay positive. I say that to say is a lot of times those people that are venting is from maybe they got a no on something or they did get a no. Maybe they getting the sale on it. And now I got to sit there and listen without trying to be a dick and say, man, your negativity is bringing me down. because a lot of times people don't understand it. Now they mad at you too. Oh, you against me? It's like, I get it. It didn't work well for you today. Let's move on. We can get better. But it's back to what I'm saying. The no thing, I hear the no, I can't. I want to help you. I can't. Or I won't help you because of this. You know what I mean? You have bad credit. Why would I'm gonna treat you as if you were I'm a bank, Lex, let me hold $100. What are the bankers gonna ask you? They're gonna ask you for references. Unless they know your credit, you know what I mean? Then they'll just give it to you because they know they're gonna get it right back.
Well,
It
now
sounds like you look like you want to say something.
I'm thinking more and more as he's speaking. I'm thinking,
Because
to be honest,
like,
when you said it, I'm like, I read it, but it was when you sent me the topic, I read it,
right.
but I'm like, I didn't know how far
Yeah, and I know
but
you said, and I appreciate you being quiet, but I left that phone to the side. Once I texted, I put the phone to the side because I knew you was gonna come back with something. And I was hoping it was just gonna be like, okay, and in your head, you looking at it like, you know what? Fuck it. I told him to take the wheel on the show. He fucks it up. He fucks it up. But I did before I went to bed. I saw you text some other shit. I was like, I still put it to the side. I was like, I'm not getting distracted.
That was for the next segment. But just listening to you talk and pondering now more of the question, because I guess maybe I never really thought about it.
Yeah, it's not just your family. It's
for me, what I'm struggling with now is on the business side of it. Like, I get a lot of notes, like reaching out to people, and my nature is, like I said, maybe that's why I'm struggling with it, because I don't really like to ask people. But in my business, I have to ask a lot of people a lot of things, and with business, it's like, bro, you have to rely on other people, because with a business, there's so much things that need to be done. You can't do everything. Right. If I could do everything, I wouldn't ask anybody to do anything. But with a business, what I find out, you have to rely on a lot of people to get things done. Like, you can't do everything, so you have to ask people to do it. And a lot of times you have to pay people to do it. But just getting a response sometimes, that's not even getting a response is a no. Like, if you reach out to someone, send them a message, send them an email, and you don't get a response, you send a follow-up, you don't get a response. You reach out to someone and they say nah, or they say the price is too expensive, you can't afford to pay them or whatever. I get a lot of that. And they always say, especially when it comes to business, all you need is that one yes. So that's what keeps me going with that. It's like, but to look deeper in what you're saying, like, is it something that's wrong with me, or what's wrong with my business or my approach? I do have to analyze that, because I don't want to keep doing the wrong thing and pushing people away and stuff like that.
This topic, for anybody that's really listened to the first time, you're like, are you fucking serious? No. Yeah, motherfucker, just say no. But I want you to understand what the no means, because you're ready. Anybody that listens saying, I'm ready. No, I don't want to do it. No, I can move on. Let's go on to the next topic. No, you need to understand the no. So you, as a businessman, you offer clothing line. Give it to this hot model. You tell me. I remember this one time, it was a couple years ago. You asked me. You told me, it's like, I'm sending these out, and I understand. We both was like, I understand. If I'm giving you something for free just to market it for me, how is that hurting you? You look good in it. Market. And then if it takes off, I'm gonna give you a piece of it. Like, how? And we both was like, why is she saying no? Like, it's free. I had to pay for my shirt, and I knew this motherfucker his whole life. I paid for it. I didn't say, Lex, send me a discount. No, I understand this man's trying to build a brand. Send me the price. Whatever the price is, I'm gonna pay it. That's how I looked at it. But we like, she not. But when I came up with this topic, and I wanted people to understand it, is that we never thought, how is that brand benefiting her? Maybe she's going in a whole different direction than what she don't want to brand something that's smart. She want to brand something that is innocent, something that's not revealing, It could be whatever, or
Yeah.
it's against my religion. It's something like that. But we just automatically took it as a no. Fuck you. I don't want you. You're not paying me, so no. But
Yeah.
maybe if we'd have had a different product, But I don't want to. I was just giving you that example, or giving the viewers that example. But it could be something totally different. Hey, can you watch my son tomorrow? I want to have a date night. That no could have been no because you have an awful son that don't listen, or I'm busy, or I can't afford to take off to help you out because I got something going on last minute. You know what I mean? But people want that explanation. And then on top of that explanation, sometimes people don't even believe it.
Mm.
You ever thought of that? Like, what if I say, hey, no, I say you say, hey, Jay, can you well, you would never say that. You knew somebody that said, hey Jay, you can I borrow $500? And I said no. And you work with me. You knew, hey, congratulations to Jason. He just got a bonus for $10,000.
Yeah.
So you in the back of your mind, you're like, you know what? This is a perfect time. All I'm asking for is for 500. Why did you just tell me no? You just got a bonus for 10.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't know I got an aunt that is dying. And I didn't share it with you. But now I got to share it with you so you understand why I said no.
Right.
My aunt isn't dying, by the way. I just
Yeah. It's
that
good to
was an
hear.
example. But you understand what I'm saying?
I
It's
understand.
so many different levels of this. Why I wanted to talk about it to everybody that no means different things to different people. People need to just accept it at times. Like everybody has something going on in their life.
And to be honest, it's like none of our business, right? Like
It
whatever you
isn't
got
none of
going on is like that's why I can't ask, and that's why you can't ask. But it's like because you never know what someone is going through, like you said. You never know what someone is dealing with, or they probably just don't want to, or they probably don't even really like you. Whatever
Mhm.
it is, like that's I just like try to really keep to myself most of the time, and even with family, even if we struggling, like we don't even ask each other for help.
Right.
But then we always on the other side helping. But if, I don't know the reason why you wouldn't want to help me. There was one time, like when I first moved to Florida, and I needed help. In Florida you need a car,
Mhm.
and asked my father for help. I forgot how much it was. I think I had some of it, but I needed probably like $2,000 or something to buy this used car. It wasn't like even to buy it cash. It was like to put a down payment because my credit wasn't established yet. And I asked him. I called him. I don't never ask my father for anything. And I needed help. I was in Florida. I needed a car, and I asked him, and the man said no. It's like how hurt I was. It's
Wow.
like I know he got it. Like my father don't spend money.
I honestly, I was like, why are you talking about it? Because I know he said yes, but go ahead.
Nah,
You
he said
said
no.
no?
He said no.
Holy shit.
There was a point in my father's life where he was like everybody was scared to ask him for anything because he was like known to be mean or whatever. So we never asked him. But later in life he changed and he just was the opposite. But that time he said no. I'm like,
You
damn, I
know what?
know he got it.
He do have he gonna say no look. So nobody did ask him anything. I don't remember
Yeah,
asking him shit. I said what's up or hey, but I never
yeah,
asked him for anything. But anyway, go ahead.
yeah. I didn't really. I still don't know why he said no. He probably had a good reason why, you know, or whatever it was. I know when I left to Florida, like I never told him. I just left. So maybe that was the reason I left.
Really?
Yeah, I just left. Just one
You
day,
didn't tell
I
nobody?
didn't. I didn't even tell him. I booked the ticket. I had no conversations. It was just if somebody knew, it was because other people told them. Like say because who I was staying with was my sister in Florida and my brother-in-law.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, so that's probably why he said no. Like I don't just leave, don't say nothing, then you gonna come back and ask for a car. Like no, I ain't give you.
I don't even remember if I left. I don't even remember if I told anybody that I was leaving.
I
Except my
don't know. It
mother.
wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even like a spiteful thing. It was just I was just doing my own thing. I was constantly just doing my own thing. I wasn't involving people in what I was doing. I was just doing it. But just looking back at it and kind of analyzing it now, that's probably the reason why he said no. But he did say no, and that did crush me for a long time. And maybe that's part of why I just always don't even ask anybody anything. Because, like you said, that rejection, even it could be a small thing. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Or I won't ask if I ever need anything. But
I wanted to cut you off about 1 minute into your explanation because you said something that generated the next topic.
Yeah.
But we're gonna close off on this one. I mean, I like where it went in this direction only because it got people thinking about the no. It got us thinking about the no. So many different things. You brought up memories. It made you think about memories of your dad, and you asked him on the point, and that was an awesome story, by the way. Like I really thought he was gonna say yes. I mean, because of what you taught me about him saving, and then he came to Florida and helping you out. But that was the retired Mr. Gayle, not the one that I grew up knowing. He came from work. I got out of his way. I didn't think he could beat me if we went on one-on-one, but he just looked scared. He looked like he's gonna say no. He looked like it was a problem. So anyway, moving on to the next topic. The new segment that we're going to do, we're going to be categorizing current events and labeling it if that shit matters or not. I'm excited about the new direction. Hopefully it hits. If not, we're gonna cut that shit real short. We're gonna have like maybe one or two of them if it don't flow off right. But before we jump into it, I wanted to go into some serious news that I actually heard in Florida. And her name is Katoria Huddle. I hope I pronounced it right. Katoria Huddle is out in she's out in Oviedo, Florida.
Oviedo,
that's like that's like an hour from me, bro. This happened on Friday. Eyewitnesses saw her crossing the St. John's River Bridge on Friday morning, and she pulled over to the right side. This is a true story. You can look her up. Pulled over to the right side, climbed over to the passenger side window, and jumped off the bridge. Eyewitnesses called police. When they got there, she was floating in the river. Floating in the river. So then they did a wellness check on her. Went to the house, found her two twin 5-year-old kids, what it looks like to be sleeping in their bed. Found no pulse on them. They both were dead. They found shell casings on the floor, along with I think a weapon, but there was no signs of any trauma to the blood or anything. So the cause of death is undetermined right now. But I said I wanted to talk about this because this kind of ties into what we were just talking about with saying no. This is a sad story. I wasn't even going this. I actually pulled this story out the last minute, but it's just so sad because it goes to. I actually back it up. That happened on Friday. Thursday night, the mom got a missed call. Now, this lady that passed away is only 31 years old. Her birthday is on the 29th. And you commit suicide. Not saying that she wasn't supposed to. She had a birthday coming up, but you never know a person's situation. Now, she called her mother prior to this incident. She called her Thursday night, 10 o'clock. Mom didn't pick up. And they asked the mother what happened. Said, yeah, I got a missed call. I thought it was one of the kids called me by accident or something. So she didn't even answer the phone. That call could have been from her saying bye or anything. They asked the mother, what did they think about her? Did she show any signs of anything? She said no. She knew she was having problems, but she didn't think it was that serious. God knows how many other times she was asked somebody something. And on top of that, I read a little bit more deeper in that she got this house through some type of charity or whatever. She was donated that house. And they looked around the house. They said it didn't look of anything that was unnormal, other than there was not a lot of supplies in the refrigerator, didn't have a lot of food or whatever. And she had no priors, no background. So you never know. You could have a neighbor right next to you that asks you something that's small, and we so quick to say no. I don't think you have to deal with any of that stuff. It's like you said, you quick to say yes to somebody, but you'll say no when somebody's giving it to you. But I think we need to learn from this only because you never know what the other person's dealing with. Maybe the other person saying no, but they just need time and advice, or just to know that, hey, you need something. I am here. You're saying no now, but if you want to talk or whatever, I'm here. Because they have pictures of the woman that's up there. She was all smiles. Oh, the two kids were special needs. So I know the money wasn't good. Probably wasn't making that much money, and she was going through stress because single mom with two special needs kids. We need to sit back and say, if we're going to take our own life, those kids, 5 years old, they could not be possibly as depressed as what the mother was going through. So anybody out there that might be going through something, yeah, call a friend, call 1-800 number to get help. But nobody that's around you that's not going through the same stresses you should not have to suffer. They should drop them off to your mother's house, drop them off to anybody, that knows that you're not mentally stable to take care of them. Because it was real sad, especially you come home, check to see why would she do something like this? No note, no nothing. And you see two innocent kids. And by the way, they ain't been in school to the 13th. Two 5-year-olds, a boy and a girl, special needs. They said their hearts and prayers was going out to the people that's at the school. Uh, you know, they kids. They're not perfect, but they was 5 years old, and I'm assuming that the mom did it. So that's all I have on that. I want to.
Yeah. This guy, bro. First with you, don't mean to laugh. It is a sad thing, but I just gotta get on you a little bit because, bro, you just hit me with that. Like, no preparation. We do the whole show. You never give me a heads up. We'll talk about this. That was like the saddest thing you ever said on the show. I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing?
It's no, but it's sad along with.
I get it.
Main topic is,
and
do you can't say no sometimes, and you have to say no.
It's just, again, I don't know if I'm qualified to even talk about this because it's like, I personally, I know life is hard as hell, and part of me, not that I understand what she did, but like I know how hard life could be. Like I know like the struggles of life, and it makes you ponder those things, but to actually go through it and take your kids, I'm not even judging her at this point because I just know how life is, especially if you're a person like me that don't like to ask for help. It is even harder, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you know help. So I don't know what she dealt with, what she was going through, and for her to do it, but to kind of like lighten it up a little bit. I know you a Dave Chappelle fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember his stand-ups is just amazing to me. It's like the best to ever do it. But one of his stand-ups, he was talking about two people. First person he was talking about was an old friend that was doing well for himself, and he saw him recently working at a Foot Locker. He was a manager at a Foot Locker, and they caught up, said hello, whatever, and moved on. And then he said another story about a famous person on TV. He wasn't an actor, but he used to go around to different countries. His name was Anthony Bourdain. I used to watch his shows all the time. and he used to go around to different countries, like great experiences, like it looked like adventures, tasting food and commenting about the food. And in the news, he committed suicide. So Dave Chappelle said, "Damn, I just thought out of the two people, the guy who was doing great and had to go back to working at Foot Locker would have been the guy to commit suicide instead of the guy who's making all the money, traveling the world, thinking he have a good life. He's the one who committed suicide. It was a guy, Twitch, famous guy he was on Ellen, started on Ellen DeGeneres show. He danced all the time. He's a lot famous on TikTok. Him and his wife and kids always dancing. And I used to watch his videos all the time. He committed suicide. It's like mentally, like you just don't know what someone is going through. Even when you on the outside, it looks good. You just don't know. And like I said, I'm not even qualified to even really touch that because it's just I'm not judging.
No, well, I didn't put this one on for your opinion. No, neither one of us have an
Yeah.
opinion on this. I'm not going to touch it, and I'm honestly, my opinion is just like yours. We don't know what was going through her mind. We don't know. But what I wanted to say differently, I wish you would have did was find somebody for those kids, because I'm pretty sure they didn't all have a conversation and said, "Let's all go right now." And they was all agreements on that. So I would say, and whether they did or not, those kids were supposed to be somewhere else.
You know,
And if somebody else is going through that, if you want to hurt yourself or you feel like it, get some help, but don't let anybody else suffer with you if they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it.
not that that's a reason why I like to help people, but like I would hate to know that she would have reached out to me and like
You said
and
no.
I said no, right? Or
But
I just
again, you have
ignored
your
it.
own problems. You have your own situation.
We
It took.
do, we do a lot, and it's hard, especially when you have your and part of me was like, yo, we all struggle, but you gotta deal with it on your own. I'm dealing with my stuff, but it will be hard for me to know that a person did that to themselves before, and they reached out to me prior. Like, I know this person. I don't know him well, but like I know he's struggling. Like he would tell me, he's paycheck to paycheck, and if he missed whatever, he can't afford to eat and stuff like that. I think the other day he got pulled over. He got his license. I don't know if his license was suspended, but he got his license taken away. He had to get. He couldn't go to work, so he lives like an hour from his job. So I think about him because I'm like, what is he gonna do? Like he lives an hour from his job. I don't think he has anybody to get a ride. He can't really Uber because it's gonna cost a lot of money. He doesn't have his license. Part of me like, man, I hope he doesn't hurt himself.
In those type of situations when somebody you got to reevaluate your situation, man. If you're driving an hour to work, while you're driving, well, I'm not saying you need to quit right there and there, but you need to be looking for something closer, because that commute an hour there and an hour back, you could be saving so much on gas,
Yeah,
and you're not beating up your car driving an hour there, hour back. That's just
that's
a lot.
that's a good point,
That's a
and
lot.
that point goes to the other side of me where I'm kind
What?
of I'm spiritual. Like I believe in God and I believe in things. Even when bad things happen, it happens for a reason. And sometimes you could look at that like, okay, it will probably force him to like look for another job that's closer to him. Like you said, it probably doesn't make sense. Like I like to tell people, you got to think about stuff, man. Like if you work, like you said, you work an hour away, whatever you making less just because you spend so much money on gas. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could take a less hour paying job. Think about this for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just throw a number out there, just real quick, not to stay too long on this. You making say $15 an hour somewhere, but it's an hour away. Somebody could be paying you $14 an hour that's closer to you, but you're not going to take that $14 an hour because you say 15 is more, but you're driving an hour away to get that $15 an hour back and forth. That $14 an hour job that's closer to you, actually pays you more. Just think
Mm-hmm.
about that. So you
Mm-hmm.
people just don't see that. They just see what's in front of them. They don't look beyond what's in front of them. So you got
Mm-hmm.
to consider all things, all factors when you're
And
making your decision.
and
So
not
that's a
to
good point.
not to bash anybody that's just getting by, not making, because honestly, I'm just getting by right now. But I'm making sure that I'm not taking that long commute, or if I'm going to take a commute, it has to make sense financially, like what you said with the $15 and the $14 an hour. And if you are struggling and you say, you know what, these guys don't really talking about, why would I leave this job when nobody's hiring? I didn't say leave this job now. I said open your options, start looking, continue doing that hour drive, whatever you got to do, but you better make some time to be looking for something else.
Yeah, it's
Right.
probably going to force him to do that because that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes bad things happen to you, but you got to try to be strong to pull through it
Mhm.
because on the other side of it might be something better. You know, if
Right.
you could just get through it.
Again, my apologies for dampering part of the
All right.
show, but it's just the wellness that, because I struggle with it, wellness sometimes, um, with situations, but I'm not gonna drag somebody on along with me with my stuff. I'm gonna get my stuff fixed, make sure there's nobody in harm's way. So if you're in that same position that this uh, poor woman and her family went through, uh, seek help and get whoever that is a distraction that doesn't deserve to see or feel that type of disaster away from you. Like that, that's not good.
So
Um, yeah.
that
We,
segment, does that matter? That definitely matters.
oh yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Lack. Because I was going to move on and not even say it. It was sad. It seemed good thinking about it, but saying it out loud, it was like I didn't mean to take you for a loop. But
Yeah.
anyway, the next one we're going on, that's been trending for a while, and I was excited for it. I was like, I want to do this one, but then the more and more I thought about it, so many layers. I was like, fuck, man, I'm gonna do it anyway because I know you knew something about it. This one is Jada Pinkett and Will Smith.
Yeah.
There's a lot of layers, like I said. It's constantly going on, still going on. Your thoughts, Jada Pinkett. Your thoughts, Will Smith. What do you think about those two individuals?
Like you said, it's layers to it, but for me, um, I don't really get
Have
the
you always
passion.
been Have you always been a Jada Pinkett fan? Are you a Jada Pinkett fan?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I
as far
mean,
as an
I'm not a fanatic, but like I
actress,
like
and where
her.
she's come from. Yeah,
Yeah,
just to talk a little bit
I
about
like the work. Yeah.
because right now she is not a lot for one. There's not a lot of people in the industry that has maintained the public eye in different generations. Now, when I remember Jada Pinkett, I used to really like her. I liked her in everything she put out. I liked her from Different World. I like her from Inkwell. I liked her from A Low Down Dirty Shame. She had a lot of good movies out there.
You remember her in that movie with Eddie Murphy? What was it called? Was it Eddie
Oh,
Murphy?
Nutty Professor.
She looked good in that movie, didn't she?
I can just name a lot of movies that she would
I
look
don't
good
remember all
in.
of those movies you named, but to be
No,
honest,
you
but that
need to be
movie,
watching
like
them,
yo,
bro.
Jada,
There's one scene
she was.
in
I don't
in
know
in
about now, but
Low Down Dirty Shame.
yeah, I
Jerome, she
gotta
walked
watch
away. No,
it.
they walked away, and I know the camera did it on purpose. They wanted us to focus on that shape. She was sitting there, had seen her and Keenan Ivory Wayans sitting on the couch, and she got up, and the camera focused on that body, just the body part, just walking away. I'm like, okay, Jada, and she had a little spice to her, where she know how to turn it off and on, with her look. I really like her as I. Then she just took a step back, I guess, because Will and Jada, they building their family and kids. You never really saw on the light. but Will Smith took over that role from Fresh Prince nonstop, Bad Boys, and all these other side movies, Hancock, and I mean, some of them were hit and misses, but he was always in the public eye.
Yeah, he was
People
like the
went to
number
go
one
see it.
actor for a while. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was him, Denzel
Tom
Washington. It's
Cruise or
like
something.
people. This is not a lot. Like I
Yeah,
said, not a lot of people that could maintain the big screen. Usually they just fall off the map because they just spending the money or they building their family. This guy's building families and still acting. But let's fast
so
forward to now.
she
A
wrote
lot
a
of
book,
people. She
right?
wrote recently,
She wrote a book, and that's what's going on. Let me
right
just
now.
before
Yeah.
you take it over. She wrote a book, and she's on this, like, when people write books, they're on like a book tour. They doing a lot of interviews and they talking about
Oh
it.
yeah, and then she's on
And
what's that? So Girls Trip. Sorry, Girls Trip. That's like the
the other
latest thing.
movie, right? So she what's she gonna set it off to? But anyway, she's
Yeah,
a
but
lot.
that was back.
Yeah, yeah. But she's on this book tour. She's doing a lot of interviews, and when you write a book, you gotta like sell it. So you gotta like talk about something that gonna make people want to buy it. And she's talking about her marriage and what's speaking of set it off. What set off the backlash was she's been talking bad about Will, making Will look even worse. So like apparently for like
You should
last
set it
six
off. What happened with set it off?
to set off like the fire that's the
Oh,
backlash
I
of
thought you
what's
meant the
happening.
movie. I thought you meant the
I
movie set it off.
I was just, it was like a double
I got
entendre type of
you.
thing.
I got you.
Gotta stick with me. So she's talking about her marriage and how her and Will have been separated for like 6 years, 6 7 years. So even the slap and all these interviews, all these stuff together that they've been seen together, it's all been an act. Like they're not married. They haven't been married. They've been separated. They still separated to this day for the past 6 7 years. So people like, yo, they're just tired of Will and Jada, and she's talking real. She's making her husband look bad. So that's when you ask me about my opinion. Honestly, I wish she's trying to sell a book, so I see that side of it. I don't think it's that bad that they're separated, and so the stuff that she does, if they're separated, it makes more sense now that she's with other people, or because they're not together. So I don't
All
really
right.
want to get in their relationship.
Are you giving her a pass of what she's doing?
Yeah, I'll give her a pass.
Are you all right?
She's selling a book.
You. All right. You got your thoughts, and I'm gonna say how I feel about it.
Go ahead.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I got what you were saying a little bit. She's selling her book. Fine. If that's what you're doing, how about you do it after they get a divorce? Let's get a divorce first, and
Does it
then
matter?
It does matter, like, because now Will looks like, okay, you're just a fraud.
They're not together. They just
but,
haven't officially got a divorce.
but
They
why
separated.
Why do you have to say all of that? I just
No, bro.
for me,
They're not together.
so
Like it's on both sides. Like Will is just not publicly saying, but I'm sure Will is living his life. They're not together. It's just that Will ain't putting his business out there like Jada is.
it's a distraction, and now I can't look at the movie the same because now I know so much of your business. I don't think I'm supposed to know all your business. I'm not. No matter how big we get, if we get big or not with this or any other venture that we do, I'm not putting my personal business out there. I would put a little bit because everybody wants to know this guy's human, but that's just too much. It's too much. Get a divorce.
It's
If
more
they're
a
not together,
problem
they
with us,
separated, get a
bro.
divorce.
It's more of a problem with us. Like people complain and be in people business too much. Like that's their business, bro. Like and if I understand it correctly, they're separated.
Yeah, she's putting too much out there though. If it's
People want to know. That's why she's able to sell
Yeah.
books. People want to know. What they say, what they usually say, no publicity, bad. What do they say? How you told me? How they say it? No publicity is bad publicity, or
Here you
bad.
go. it doesn't even matter how you put it is the right way. You say bad publicity is publicity, good publicity is publicity. I
It's publicity,
don't,
right?
yeah.
She's selling a book, so even if it's bad, it's a bad look. It's a lot of attention drawn to it, and she's probably gonna be number one bestseller. They don't want to read it. Even the haters want to read it. So she's doing what she's supposed to do. And Will Smith, like I'm not in his shoes, but if I was with someone that I am no longer with, divorce or not, we're not together. Uh, Whatever you do, that's
What
just your
is your
business.
thoughts on how this should be taken? Like how Will should take it, how his kids, because she's opened up so many questions for everybody now that it's a fan. I'm not that much of a fan. If I saw Will Smith walking down the street right now, what's up, Will? I'm not gonna go up to him and be asking all of these damn questions because, for one, to me, I was gonna say this at the end, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Shit doesn't
It's
matter.
the what is going on in his personal life has really nothing to do with the movie that I'm about to go see. You know, unless it was something that he was doing that was immoral. Maybe he was a wife beater, or he's like touching on little kids or something like that. It's like selling drugs. I don't know, or like stealing from charities or something like that. Then maybe like that would deem for me not wanting to go see the movie. But I just don't like. You say, yeah, she's doing this to sell books, but it's causing so much friction, and because then after they get divorced or Will reacts a certain way, is going to cause tension with the kids.
You
Now
speaking about something that you're not sure about. You don't know
what do you
that.
mean? Like you don't think it's
How
going to
you
take a
think it's
toll on the kids?
what kids, bro? Everybody's grown. They don't have any kids,
Yeah, but
and
I don't.
then they're all like they know more than us. Like they know like their parents haven't been together for 6 7 years. They know like that dynamic that the mom and dad have their own relationships with other people. Like they're probably better to deal with it than us because we just don't know. We're finding out bits and pieces, but they have the whole picture.
You ever you ever go to work? You have gossip queens in your job, like they
Yeah, I
just
mean, I
talk
stay
and say,
away
"You
from
heard
it, but
this."
yeah, uh huh.
Okay, how often do they come to you and say, "Hey, you heard?"
Once in a while, this guy that I just cut off
And
does that.
you got how many people in your building? Maybe that's just go round figure like 100.
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah. So as for every 100, you probably got about two or three that'll come to you random, and you just laugh it off.
Maybe,
Oh yeah, I heard. And move on.
maybe I
Yeah.
don't get involved in it, but go ahead.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel when you hear it? Like, even though you brushing it off, you move on. What do you say to yourself when you're going?
It's probably not true.
Probably not true. And it's not, that motion doesn't get to you.
Yeah,
The point I'm making is that little stuff like that, and you're only dealing with 100 people. These people are dealing with millions. So for each million, if we uh, break down the math on what you have to deal with, 3 out of 100, they deal with. So if you go to 1,000, that's double that. It's 30 people. And then you go to 10,000, it just keeps multiplying. So you're dealing with that every day, unless you got security. And even if you don't have security, your waitress, the people at the store is asking you silly shit like that. And you have to put on this makeup of, oh no, everything's good. The TMZ is basically any person that's recording and they sell it to TMZ. So if I see Will, or I see what they looking for reaction, they looking for an anger, like, oh, you don't have to say nothing. I'm gonna write what I see in your eyes or your emotion. Maybe you wave the camera off. That shit got him. Yeah, it's bothering him. Let me write about that. So yeah, it don't matter, but it do, because it's not just uh what's the name that is profiting from it, Jada. Will has to get this on top of him saying Yeah, Bad Boys 4 is coming out. Yeah, great. What are your thoughts about what your wife's doing right now? This motherfucker has to black this out all the time. And he's trying to promote Bad Boys 4, which I'm not gonna go see. They should stop at 2. Why are they still doing that? It's a question for the ages. But anyway, he's trying to promote his movie. I think he got another movie that's coming out. I think I Am Legend 2 or some shit like that. I think I want to see that, but it's just too much, is what I'm saying. I know she's trying to promote it, but it's causing too much side. And then if that divorce gets ugly, I'm gonna predict he's gonna sue her for her book rights or whatever. Like, you're causing my sales to go down there.
I don't know. We're looking too deep into it, but I don't know if that's gonna play out the way you're saying. But I do know also it's I'm always pro women too, and it's like a double standard. In my mind, I'm thinking if Will was in Jada's position, nobody would be thinking about Jada. If Will cheated on Jada, plenty of famous actors or celebrities, male celebrities cheat on their wives, and nobody considered the wives'
You
feelings or
you want
whatever.
to read that book? You want to read that book? Do you have any interest in Jada Pinkett's book?
It would be the audio book, and no, I don't. No. I could out read a book.
I'm laughing at
Pages
I'm
in
laughing
there.
at you. I'm laughing at you just automatically. It would be the audio book. I'm not turning the page.
Well, no,
All right. So yeah, you're not reading it.
I'm not
It's
gonna
not that
listen to it.
important.
No,
That's probably why you're not seeing the seriousness of it, because she's right now, for the new generation, people know her for Table Talk and Girls Trip. Everybody forgot about all them other classics that she had in the 90s. She kind of was blackout until now with the Table Talk and Girls Trip. But anyway, are we going to label that as what?
that shit don't matter.
To you, that shit don't matter. To me, I'm 50-50. Because I say it matters because of the kids and all the parties outside of that. But
Yeah, we got to be what Tupac said. Got to bring Tupac. We didn't even talk about Tupac because Tupac was
oh
a
my
big part
god,
of
they
it.
they
But
they they tearing this. The internet is undefeated, man. They got. I saw this one picture where they was at the table talk. It was Will, Chris Rock, Tupac, and Jada Pinkett sitting at the table. I'm like, and Tupac was just looking at Jada like, for real. It's just like the internet is just too much.
Tupac
But
said we gotta protect our women, man. Remember that line?
okay,
We gotta
yeah,
protect
I'm
our
gonna
women.
protect her so she
Bro,
can just throw me under the bus, right?
take it, bro. Take it. Like I said, she was on the other foot, we wouldn't be feeling this way towards Jada. Like we just wouldn't.
If
We
you
just
if and
women's
when you're
supposed to be
walking down
cheated
the
on. Women's
when you're
supposed to
walking that when you're walking down the street with a woman, what side of the street you supposed to walk on?
I don't know.
They say you're supposed to walk on the side of traffic.
Okay.
So if a car hits you guys, you take the blow and she's safe.
I'll tell my wife all the time I'll take a bullet for her anytime. Like
Really?
I actually, how nowadays you have like these mass shootings and stuff like that. Like, I'll go on top of my wife in a heartbeat. Like
Mm.
we was at the grocery store the other day, and walking in the parking lot, like you said, in the street, and a car was backing out. Like, I'm grabbing her or whatever. Like, I always yeah, in a heartbeat. Like if we in a car and stop on the brakes, what was that? Stop short. You
Mm.
get when I say stop short, you know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
Well, I don't want to keep bringing it up, but I'm a big fan, so I'll stop short. Like
Yeah.
just out of protection. I always, yeah, in a heartbeat, I'll take a bullet for my wife. Yeah, I rather, just to finish up. I always say to her, I want to be the one to go first, like to die first. I do not want to live, and my wife is not living. So I don't care if I speak it in existence. That's what I want.
Mm.
I want to live a life. I want to live a long life, but I don't want to live it without my wife not being here, with her being gone. Like, I don't want to experience that. I want to be the one to go first. Let her deal with that. But yeah, she could
I
handle it.
don't know what trouble you got into last night that you had to say that, Lex. On live.
She could handle it, bro. Nah, that's how I always thought, man. Nah,
All right.
yeah,
That shit matters when it
yeah,
comes to Lax and his situation.
yeah.
But
But that Will and
we
Jada shit,
50-50 on this will thing. It doesn't matter. It
can't
doesn't
believe.
matter. It shouldn't be. You know why it doesn't matter? That all that shit should have been publicized. That's why I don't. So when I
Leave
see
Jada
her,
alone, man. Leave Jada alone. It's getting too much
I
backlash.
just
Like,
want
bro,
the. I just want the different world Jada back. That's what I want. I'll find it.
bro, nobody's who they was 10,
I'm just
15
fucking
years
around, man.
ago, bro.
I'm just
Like,
fucking around.
let her live,
Let's
let her grow,
Yeah, all
let
right.
her
Move
be.
on from Jada. All right, the next one going to sports. This one is kind of old, but I think it deems a conversation. Was the Lakers? The Lakers and LeBron. We both LeBron fans. Big LeBron fans. I'm not a fan of everything that he does publicly, but I'm still a fan. The reason I brought this one up, Lakers played Golden State pre-game season. I know you watched it because I know you're a LeBron fan. Um, Thoughts? First quarter, I mean the first two quarters, he finished with in 18 minutes, he had 2 turnovers, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and 12 points. I think that's pretty good for first half in 18 minutes, right? Nothing wrong there. Second half, he came in fully clothed, eating, eating food in front of everybody. He didn't go to the back, chow down at halftime because what you get like 20 minutes halftime, 30 minutes tops. Then you come back out there, huh?
Something like that, whatever it
Yeah, you
is.
come back out there. So you have, and I'm pretty sure they got food back there in that locker. What is your thoughts of you coming to a game? You paid money preseason, by mind you, you still gotta pay to go watch. You a fan. You see your boy LeBron out there playing, and then halftime you come back and say, "Oh, this is a good game, yo, bro. They up, bro. This is the year." And then you see him suited up. What are your thoughts?
That shit don't matter. That's my thoughts, man. It's preseason. They're not
Yeah.
expected to play the whole game. I don't know what the ticket cost is, but it cannot be the same as a regular season game. It's expected. Like, I think they even tell you ahead of time, oh, LeBron only gonna play 3 quarters tonight, or he's gonna limit it to 20 minutes. It's expected that he's not gonna play the whole game. I thought you was more gonna focus on something that we never seen before. Yeah, switching uniforms to dress clothes and then eating on the sideline, because he got backlash for eating. People who's NBA purists, people didn't like the fact that he was eating on the sideline.
Right. That's my point. So you that's all you got to say. It shit don't matter. You don't care. So if you was at the game and you saw him suited up eating on the side, your thoughts?
Shit don't matter. I don't have no thoughts. The game is over.
The game isn't over. The game was third quarter.
It's over with preseason. And I heard, Doc Rivers. Everybody know Doc Rivers. He used to be a coach. Last place he was coach was Philly. Now he's a NBA analyst. So now he's calling the game. And he was not this specific question, but he made a remark. He said when he was coaching in the preseason, there's 2 or 3 games within the game. Like they keep a score, like different scores. And one of the scores they keep is just with the starters. They want to see how the starters play against the other starters. So it might be just 12 minutes. That's the score. And then they might want to see how the bench play. That's the score. And then they might see how those rookies and people who's trying to make the team play. And that's the score. So my point to that is, for Doc Rivers, that game was already over. That score was already captured. LeBron did what he was supposed to do. He's done. Let me change. I'm hungry. Let me eat. I don't care. Like, why does that matter? Like to anything? Why? What difference does that make? Regular season start now, and even
It,
regular season, they don't even treat regular season as so important.
I think it matters only for the fans and for the young
I'm a fan.
generation. That's yeah, I know. And you are looking at it as
That shit
I
don't
think you're
matter.
looking at it more on I just watching it from my living room, and then it's not gonna affect me one way or another. All right, LeBron suited up. Yes, the game is over. I think the Knicks is on the other channel, right? That's just you. I'm talking about the person that paid to go sit there and watch him. I got close seats. Or for the upcoming basketball player that's going to the NBA. Oh shit, I can't wait. They're getting all this money and I don't even have to play the whole game. Yeah, it's preseason, but a plate of food in your regular clothes, I would say do that shit in the back. And I would say stay in the uniform, or you even got to stay in uniform. You remember the jumpsuit? Put the jumpsuit on.
What difference does
Make
it
me
make?
feel like you
Bro?
might go in there. Oh,
Like,
it's clutch. We only got 1 minute left. LeBron could just take his thing off like this. When you
bro,
got your
like,
sweatpants
let me
on,
ask you a question. Like,
yeah,
if even if it was regular season game, you're at the game, your team is blowing out the other team. I
I don't
mean,
want to see
maybe,
LeBron put regular clothes on.
maybe LeBron have just this quick point. Like maybe he has 40 points in the
Mm-hmm.
third quarter, early
Right.
third quarter. He got 40. Matter of fact, 50 points. He's balling, but
Mm-hmm.
they blowing out the team by like 40. They take him out the game.
I like this question by the way.
They take him out the
They
game.
take them out the game.
You don't see LeBron for a quarter and a half, like just sitting on the bench. Damn, I wish he was playing. I wish I could see him do
Nah,
more. You
no,
happy? You're fine with him just
I'm
sitting
good.
there?
I'm good with him sitting on the
What's
bench.
the difference?
It is a big difference. So I'm gonna tell you
It's
why. So
meaningless.
if you for what you said, watching the game, LeBron got 45 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, no turnovers. They're up by 35, and it's third quarter with 10 minutes left. I don't know, 8 minutes left. I'm pretty confident that they're gonna win this game.
Yeah, it's about to win.
Let's say they're playing Golden State, whatever. Coach Kerr said, starters, get out of there. We good. This game is over. I'm gonna put the bench in. Lakers go off the same energy. I'm gonna put my bench in. Boom. I just don't want to see you in regular clothes. Sit there, cheer in your jumpsuit. Cheer in your jumpsuit. I don't want to see you with a plate of food. It's disrespectful.
What?
It's very disrespectful. That's all I'm saying.
It's just why you take
It's
it
a
personal?
preseason. Yeah, it's because it's a game. You disrespected the game. I've never seen a plate of food
From the guy
anywhere in
bro, he gave more to the game than any of us. Like, how is if this is he always say I don't want to cheat the game. Like this guy, he gave so much. The guy is year 21.
Mm-hmm.
He elevated the game to the level where it's at. And we
no,
talking about
I'm not disagreeing.
how we disrespect the game a lot more than LeBron ever disrespected the game. Like, how is LeBron disrespecting the game when he gave so much to the game? And even if he disrespected the game, he has all right to disrespect the game. He owns the game.
No, nobody.
He
Nobody
owns
deserves
the
to
game.
disrespect a game that you.
I don't see that disrespect,
benefited
but
from.
you remember he used to dance. Okay, he used to dance.
Yeah.
Okay, when he was
after the
younger.
big shot. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Another question. If it was Chef Curry, eating, doing the same thing LeBron's
I'll
doing,
be pissed off too. I'm not pissed off. I just don't like it.
I think we overanalyze LeBron. I don't think you're gonna be mad if Steph Curry did it.
No, I'm a Steph Curry
It's
fan
not
too.
gonna be. It's not gonna be publicized like that or even talked about if Steph Curry did it.
Kevin Durant did it. And it's not. It was only a topic because, like you said, it's LeBron James. If it was Steph Curry,
exactly.
They did. They
Kevin. I didn't even know that one. He did it.
Yeah, he did it. Actually, Steph Curry did it too. He is eating popcorn. I don't mind it. Popcorn is kind of like
All right,
subtle.
let's stop, please. You just ask, yo, like, bro, what is it with LeBron that he
I,
it's like he's so like I really admire, respect,
I admire and respect
adore
it too.
LeBron because like he's in such a public eye where if he did anything, what we talking about? Eating on the sideline.
Mm.
We're not talking about gambling. We're not talking about Colorado cheating on your wife. We're not
Damn, you
talking
just
about
gonna
all of
talk
these
about
things
Kobe
that
Bryant.
other NBA players have done, and LeBron get criticized in the backlash as if he did something like that. Like the guy is such a he's such a pros, and the way he live his life and go about his business. If he can't get a pass for eating something on the sideline that everybody else did, and that's not even that serious, like I don't know what world we're living in. Like leave the man alone, man. It's not that
We
serious.
living in a world where just the game should always have a
The game
level of
is
respect. Respect the game. Eat in the back.
he's carrying the game, bro. Let's
Let me
chill.
say something. And then when you see him eating, he wasn't like this. The man was like this. I'm checked out. Bro, and then they always saying like he's like the GM, he's the real coach because
it's
he
true.
says this,
It's true.
he's that.
Yes.
All right,
It's
so
true.
if you
Yep.
so that's the time where you're supposed to be looking at the other players and seeing what they need to do to improve and get better.
No,
Because
it's meaningless games right now. Like these guys, he
no,
already
every
in
game
practice.
is
Like, do you know like LeBron would change the play? LeBron would like tell a coach, "Nah, we ain't running that. Give me the board. Let me draw up the play." Literally, like Iman Shumpert, he told a story on Cleveland. The coach at the time was David Black. Nobody respected him. I think he lasted one season.
mhm.
David Black drew final seconds. David Black drew for play for like J.R. Smith to take a three. LeBron was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that. Give me the clipboard." Like he said it just like that. This is firsthand knowledge. Iman Shumpert in the huddle saying this. Give me the clipboard. No, we doing this. He drew up the play for himself, hit the game winner, and won the game. Bro, like who? I don't know who does that because I'm not. I don't know if other people of Kobe Bryant. Like I heard stories about Kobe Bryant like berating his coaches and cursing at them and stuff like that, head coaches. And probably the same with Jordan. But the man took the clipboard, drew up a play, and hit the game winning shot himself for himself. It just that might be disrespectful to the game, but when you at a level like that, he needed to do that. He's brave enough to do that. Remember, he left Cleveland, went to Miami. Like that's brave stuff, bro. Like he's like a trailblazer for the game. He gives so much to the game. He not that he got the game in his hands.
I get it, man. You're a fan. I'm a fan. I just don't want to
Respect,
see him in clothes, man.
bro.
I don't want to see him. I only want when he's in clothes, he better have a serious injury. That's it. I don't want to see him sitting. I just don't want to see it.
He got the game in his hand. Let him lead.
We
Let
got
him
it.
take.
We good.
Yeah.
I think we're good though. This one's labeled as shit don't matter, but it matters to me for the clothes.
Every shit matters to you, bro. Get the hell out of here, man. Bro, you don't even know what you talking about. Shit, I don't know why it matters, but it matters. All right, don't matter. Yeah, it
All
matters.
right. Let's ask this. This is the final one. If it was a regular season game, and he did what he was supposed to, and he was on minutes restriction. He's on minute restriction. Not even he's on minutes, but he can't even play anymore. You want to see him in regular clothes? He's
I'll give
okay if he
you.
put.
I'll give you that. LeBron can't do no wrong in my eyes. So
All
fuck it. I said it. This shit don't matter. Like whatever he do.
right, this shit don't matter. Let's on that note. Let's get off this bus, man. I think it
Good
was a
show,
good
man.
show. Good show. And this is my stop, man. We off.
Gotta let you drive more often, man. Let's get off the bus.